Hello students. So in the last classes we have discussed about power sharing, the different case studies of power sharing of Sri Lanka and Belgium. Now we are going to study about why power sharing is desirable. The two different sets of reasons can be given in favor of power sharing. Firstly, power sharing is good because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups, like we saw in the example of Belgium. Since social conflict often leads to violence and political instability, power sharing is a good way to ensure the stability of political order. So it is very important because if there is a conflict between two social groups or two religions, then it results in violence or and political instability. So imposing the will of majority community over others may look like an attractive option in the short run, but in the long run, it undermines the unity of the nation. Like it happened in most of the cases, like in Sri Lanka also. The this the opinion and the benefit of the people in majority were taken into consideration rather than the union, rather than all the people as a whole. And so this is often leads to this is beneficial only when you are thinking on a short run. In the long run, it affects the unity of the nation. Tyranny of the majority is not just oppressive for the minority. It often brings ruin to the majority as well. There's a second deeper reason why power sharing is good for democracy. Power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. A democratic rule involves sharing power with those affected by its exercise and who have to live with its effect. So this is also important, power sharing, because it is one of the important pillars of democracy. A democratic rule involves sharing the powers between people with those people who are affected by those powers. So people have a right to be consulted on how have to be governed. A legitimate government is one where citizens, through participation, acquire stake in the system. So if you are running a legitimate system, if you are running a proper democratic government, then it's suggestive that you involve the people and take suggestions on how they need to be governed, how they want to be governed. And so, a legitimate government is one where citizens, through participation, acquire stake in the system. Let us call all the first set of reasons prudential and the second moral. While prudential reasons stress that power sharing will bring out better outcomes, moral reasons emphasize the very act of power sharing as valuable. So, this is a story of Khalil's dilemma. This is a short story. You can go through it. And in the next class, we'll start with forms of power sharing.